Peter! Good to see you at last. You look well.
We were just talking about you, old chap.
Here. You got the first round in to celebrate.
Oh, thank you.
Heard the paper's going shockingly well at last.
It is, thank you.
John, your eminent professor, mentioned it. Gather you showed him an early copy.
Word spreads when something's good, that's all.
Never seen the man so delighted. So, I propose a toast. To Peter.
To Peter.
To me?
May this be one foot inside the club.
Hani diyordu ya
So all in all, I hear
4
it's
hafta
been
varmış
a
sonra 5
very
olmuş diye.
productive summer.
Bütün bu
Got
arkadaşlarımızdan
everything you
şimdi
wanted in
şüpheleniyorum.
Scotland.
It's an inspiring place, yes. Very beautiful.
Oh, she is. She is.
Someone's been spreading rumours, have they?
My hands are clean. I just mentioned Clara.
That was it. Clara, good man, Peter. Like I said, inspiration.
Sorry, shouldn't I have said anything?
Well, of course not. It's not a secret. She's been helping.
Helping. Bit of note-taking here and there, filing.
She's been doing more than that.
Oh, I'm sure she has.
Well, I thought it was more, assisting than writing.
I don't know where you draw the line.
Oh, I see. So wouldn't that make it a joint paper?
Sam, I think we all know that Peter is the real professor in waiting here. I think he knows better than anyone how much he put into it and who wrote what. Isn't that right, Peter?
Of course.
And he's well aware his chances of promotion would be considerably lower if he'd only done half the work in collaboration.
Oh. No, I didn't know that.
Fine.
Collaboration isn't a bad thing.
No, I agree.
Unless, of course, you're that girl Molly, collaborating with the communists.
I think the word you're looking for is collusion.
Well, didn't work out too well for her either way. Shame, really. I'd have happily colluded with her.
Joe.
Ah, you're right. You're right. Too complicated. I prefer things with fewer strings attached. Having the KGB and MI5 watching through the curtains, that would really put me off.
She did make herself rather visible. Has anyone heard from her since?
Well, she hasn't come back for the start of term yet, apparently. Beyond that, who knows? A vanishing lecturer.
Someone must know something.
You're not worried, are you? You've got no secrets to hide?
I just think she was unfairly singled out.
It's all water under the bridge. New term, things will have settled down. Fresh start and all that.
My thoughts exactly. New term, new students. Speaking of which, what do you think of those two over there?
Them? Very nice, I'm sure.
Joe, don't.
Hold this, will you?
Are you leaving us?
Don't be so possessive, Peter. What are you, the wife? It's like you said, Sam. Never too late for a fresh start. I meant what I said. Hearty congratulations on the paper. You always had that passion, much more than the rest of us. And this sounds like that old conundrum, women or work. Just don't forget your years of struggle. Don't miss this opportunity now. Wouldn't want you missing out on what you deserve.
All right, Joe. You've made your point.
Right. I'm off to get what I deserve. Don't wait up, chaps.
You're a disgrace, Joe.
Absolutely shocking.
Sürekli
He
bir
keeps doing that, doesn't he?
yönlendirme, sürekli bir
He'll
şey.
stop it one day.
But what's there to stop him?
Come on, Pete, pay attention. Head in the bloody clouds again. That's your problem. Pick up the oars and row like I told you. Faster than that, son. I want to keep them both in time.
Doing my best.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. And try and keep your weight in the middle, too. You don't want to tip us in. What a wonderful start to the holiday that would be.
Do you want to help?
No, this is a test of your listening, son, and trying to work things out for yourself. How would you learn if I did everything for you, eh?
I didn't mean do it all, just take an oar, maybe.
Well, say I did, and you could only work one oar. Then where would we be? We'd be going round in circles. Oh, now, look, there's a strong current coming up. It's a good test, son. Now, remember what I taught you, and this won't be a problem. Keep her straight and true. Strong arms. I said strong. No, no, no, no!
Trying.
That side! Harder on the port side!
Help!
Jesus, Pete, that one! Oh, come on!
Babamız savaş zamanı bir şey değil. Ben mi yapacağım ya?
Oh, come on! Give it here! Give it here! Good, you get back there, I'll do it. I knew you weren't made for this!
Maybe you're right.
Biliyorsan niye verdin?
Come on. Prove you can go the rest of the way. Current's not as strong now. Here you go. I have done my best, Pete. Whatever you do in life, you can't expect anyone to do things for you. My experience. I won't always be here to help. And there'll come a time when you've got to prove you can do something by yourself.
Ahoy! Good row, Captain Hamilton.
Oh, get me away from this thing. It looks calm out there, but it's rougher than you think.
Oh, it does look nice and calm, you're right.
It's the current. Can't you see it?
It's very nasty ripples. It's practically a storm surge.
I think if the wind had been in another direction...
Oh, come here. Don't you know me at all by now? Come on, let's walk.
All right. Thank you.
Well, I've got used to being this relaxed. What's it going to be like getting back to college, having to smarten ourselves up? I really like you like this, it's nice. Remember when we met on that train and you were so self-conscious about that suit?
Oh, I remember. Seems silly now, eh? You were wearing that lovely sweater you got on now, weren't you?
Not this. Well, I only bought it recently. It's a new colour for me.
You sure about that?
Positive. Ah, strange. So, do you want the good news?
Absolutely.
While you're out, I checked with the hotel and they said we could stay another night. And I thought, why not? Extend this holiday as long as we can. Extend the celebration.
Celebration?
Oh, you know, the summer of work. The fact that it's practically all done now. And perhaps we could celebrate us too.
Us? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Mr. Absolutely Hamilton.
Oh, stop it. I don't say it like that.
You do, and that's fine.
Ready to go home soon?
Not in the slightest. Oh, so pretty. Oh, look at these houses. Oh, If I had found someone I could row with, perhaps I could be living here.
Hey, I can row.
Well, that's good, because I think I might be in love.
Oh? Me too.
Oh, those two houses up on the cliff, look. Oh, which one should we have, the red or the blue?
It's arbitrary.
Oh, go on, pick one.
Okay, red.
My choice exactly.
Oh, almost like I knew what you were going to say.
Well, either house looks big enough for me. Maybe more than me one day.
Family.
Well, like I said, one day.
What about your work? Wouldn't you want to finish that first?
Well, finish work before I settle down, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I love my work. You know I do. I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to keep going as long as I can. I don't see why it has to be one or the other. Would you give up work to have children?
I would. I really would.
No, well, I think the thing is, I wouldn't expect a man to give it all up. Not if he really loved his work. So why does the rest of the world think that we should give it all up? I keep thinking about all these bright young women I'm teaching, and I'm scared. I'm scared that despite all they've achieved, despite the fact that they're walking out into the world with a degree from Cambridge, the first thing they'll be asked is, how fast can you type?
Don't be so pessimistic.
It's not pessimism, I see it. Even the jobs they get, they're not expected to keep once they've had children. All it needs is people to stand up to it.
Well, Molly was taking a stand. Do you think that changed anything?
Not a woman this time. Women have been making a stand, throwing themselves under horses since the suffragettes. We need men to start fighting for it.
You can count on me.
I hope you do make a stand. Won't become part of all that. It's not easy, you know. A lot of people are still living in the dark ages about all this. Your professor, for one, I'll bet.
Oh, he's not as bad as you think.
I wouldn't be so sure. He doesn't know about any of this, does he?
This work?
Exactly. The work we've done. You will tell him, won't you?
Of course I will. I'll go straight to his office as soon as we're back.
Scouts honor?
Scout's honor.
Good.
Happy?
Happy. You?
Very.
Ve gemiye geldik galiba. SS Lumi. Peter işte böyle hareket ederken hatıralarını hatırlıyor ve de
Peter, marvelous to see you. Do come in. Take a seat. I have to say, I'm delighted.
Delighted? Well, that's wonderful to hear.
I must say it's very impressive.
Very kind of you.
Not at all, it's your work. I think the direction you took it gave it something of real value. Well, as I say, quite apart from the climate side of things, the method you developed to track radiation, I can see it having far-reaching implications, and not just in your own field. It's marvelous.
I'm very proud of it, yes.
A first-rate piece of work, Peter. First-rate. This other name on here, Dr. Clara McKirrick, I presume we could drop that.
Drop it? Why would I do that?
Oh, well, I understand you probably had some little research assistance, but Oh, we all have secretaries. we just don't usually put the name on the front cover
Ben
of the
korum.
paper.
What are you suggesting?
Tell me, have you seen your friend Joseph recently, Samuel?
I have.
Doing so well in their new positions. I would dearly love to see the same for you, Peter. And more for you, in fact.
Well, thank you.
It would be so well deserved after all these years, especially after the risk I took.
Risk.
A boy from a grammar school, first in his family to make it to university, you know what I'm saying. It's been really wonderful to give you this opportunity. I would just hate you to throw it away by misattributing your own hard work, that's all, for whatever reasons you might have.
Throwing it away? What do you mean?
I mean, there is a world of possibility out there for you. Well, as I say, it really is very good, and I'm not the only one who thinks so.
You've given it to someone else already.
I knew a few who I thought might be interested. I thought you'd be pleased. In fact, I think you might want to prepare yourself for being the center of attention for a little while. I'm sure you would be able to cope, but I think it's perhaps not quite the sort of thing you'd like to foist on a young woman's shoulders.
I see. And okay to foist upon a man's, of course.
Quite. And I've no doubt you'd be up to the challenge yourself. With this name on here, there is a good chance it will cause problems.
I'm sure I could handle them.
This isn't all about you, I'm afraid. There could be problems for everyone. Clara was close with Molly Shannon, wasn't she? The one suspected of being a communist spy.
She was, I believe.
How close they were is the real question. Clara joined Molly on that anti-British protest march, I hear.
People are saying Clara's a spy now.
Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's started digging. Yet. A lot of people, very important people, believe you are either with this country or against it. Some of the benefactors of this college, for example. My father used to call this university one of the greatest contributions Britain has made to the world. I would agree with that. Wouldn't you?
One of the greatest. Really? Well, it does some great work.
It does. I'd hate to be the one to undermine it. The affair with this Cambridge 4 business has been bad enough. We can't change the past, Peter. But we can learn from it. Before we fool ourselves into remembering it too kindly. Now, with this name on here, and the associations one might make, you see what I'm saying?
If you met Clara, I'm sure you'd agree her name should be on the paper.
Good God, Peter, I am trying to make you understand something. This is precisely the way the rot sets in. It's the slow knife. Members of this university were recruited to spy for the Soviet Union 10 years ago. Now, members of this university are demanding we lay down our weapons. The only defense we have against the very same foreign power. What happens in 10 years' time? And what happens to the integrity of this college in 10 years? If you share your work on a whim with a girl you've taken a fancy to. And what happens 10 years after that? Cannot survive by making oneself vulnerable. That is why this university is still here. That is why I am still here. I hope you understand how much I care about your success. so common for work to fade into obscurity after it's published. It would be a shame if yours were denied my full-throated
Oğlum ne dersen de
support,
kabul etmeyeceğim işte. Artistlik yapma.
especially after so many years.
Spent years working on this.
I cannot make your decisions for you, Peter. By all means, publish with Clara as a co-author if you're feeling generous, but if you do, you'll have to take your chances. It would be difficult for me to bring to bear any influence I have.
Kızın ajan olduğunu düşünsen de
By way of illustration, I have an address in Whitehall to give you.
Thank you.
Afraid I can't tell you much more now, but he's a good man. Cambridge man. And you may find there's one more reason to leave Clara out of things. I'm sure things will become clear soon.
I think you've made things very clear.
Well, let me know what you decide. Just knock any time. My door is always open.
Peter kalk, donacaksın. Evet. Bir bölümün daha burada sonuna geliyoruz. Dizi tadında ilerliyoruz. Clara'yı tezimizden dışlamamızı istediler. Yapmamak için reddettik ve Clara hakkında bilgi alabileceğimiz birini kartını aldık. Büyük ihtimalle kızın komünist olduğunu söyleyecekler. Komünist olsa da sonuçta tezde katkıda bulunduysa bulunmuştur. Bizim kararımız bu yönde olacak. Bunu değiştirmem. Teşekkürler. Videoyu beğenmeyi ve abone olmayı unutmayın. Hoşunuza gittiyse de bir yorum yaparsanız çok sevinirim. İyi günler.